Alright, what's up guys? I'm going to show you how to make your very own Brood War campaign mission. Right here I just opened up campaign editor and I'm going to want to make a blue Protoss player face a green Zerg creep colony outpost. And so I want to be on a desert planet so I can get a green opponent. And to make a new map, you go File New, or you hit this little page. I don't want it to save changes. Here's the map. You got Ash World, Badlands, Desert, Ice, Installation, Jungle World, Space Platform, and Twilight. I think Ice and Desert are the Brood War content, which allow a green player on the side here. And you can have a square map or a rectangle map. Adjust the height and width, however you want. And this is the terrain that the entire map will be. We want sand dunes and a square map. And just leave it at 128. And OK. And here's our DoD Template. Getting to know what these are just takes some practice. I'm just going to go ahead, make a little high platform for our Protoss player, and then just make some two little tar pits out in the middle of nowhere. And when you make your first few maps, expect them to suck. Oh crap, that was bad. And because the first 5 missions I created were complete failures, and I'm right now a complete whiz at this, so don't feel bad. It just takes practice. I've created a really large map that was based off the last Terran mission Brood War. It takes 2 hours to complete, and it is fully functional, and I am very happy with it. So it can be done. First off, I just have this base, very simple map layout. I'm going to show you how to make a ramp, and that involves this new doodad palette button up here. Then you hit the menu, and you want to always go to cliff. Now usually besides maps that are not desert and ice, they will be at the bottom, but in desert and ice they will be at the top here. Now as you can see, when I go to put it down, it doesn't work. That's because it requires dirt at the bottom and the top. This does not happen to some. It only happens to a few select groups of the maps types. And there we go. Just added some dirt, and there we go. Escape. Let's get out of that. Next, we're going to be going into how to place resources. You just hit neutral units, resources, and there's 3 types of mineral fields and only 1 type of Vespene geyser. And let me just show you, if you just do 1, this is what I used to do, and that is way too many resources, and it looks really bland. So just highlight all those and hit delete. And so what I really wanted to find something that I can, it's balanced like the normal missions in the game, and that actually looks good. And I found what's best, what I did right here, and that's 3 of each with a Vespene geyser, and it looks pretty nice, and it's balanced. So we're going to put that for our Protoss player. I'm going to put an expansion down here with the same setup, 3 of each type, and the Vespene geyser. I'm going to put another one up here because the more expansions the better. Why not? Make this a quicker game. I don't know if I want any tech limitations. Alright. Going to make a little funky outpost here. Alright, and then we're going to go ahead and make the resource node for the computer. Now when you make the resource node for the computer, you don't want to build the Vespene geyser, because you'll have an assimilator built already, and we'll get in that in just a bit. Now the first part. Now I got the resources in the map. Now I want to set up my forces. I want a blue Protoss human player and a green Zerg computer player. Here we got green Protoss and blue Zerg. I'll show you how to change that. You go up here to the player tab, and you go to settings. And then we click on our blue Zerg here, change that to Protoss and keep that as human. Go down to the Zerg Protoss player, hit Zerg, and hit computer. It has to be computer in order any AI script to run. Also in the player settings tab you can limit what type of units are available in the game, what upgrades are available, and what special abilities will be available. And like for instance you can set the default max to 2 or 3, whatever you want. Alright, now this is very important to do right away. I prefer doing it right away at least, is put the start locations for each player. These are required in the map making, and it's the first point with which the camera will be viewed for that player. Alright, now let's go ahead and build our base for our Protoss player. And if you don't know how to do this, you're on YouTube, you might as well just look up the basics of map building. Gateway, forge, and a couple cannons. The choke, give him some probes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Give him a DT, 2 zealots, and a dragoon. If I can fit him here. There he is. Yeah, there we go. Now let's set up the base for our computer. Now when you set up a base for a computer player, I usually prefer to just give them everything they want, that you want them to get up to. Since I'm going to be incorporating a set AI script, they won't go outside whatever their script is, so you won't have to worry about them going beyond your perimeters. You're in complete control of what they can do. Unless, of course, you hit custom level, in which it's best based on chance and reactions. I'm going to insert some spore colonies just to make it so once you get air units, it's not downhill slope. Challenge the player to think for acting, and then fill in the holes with the creep colonies, and the computer player will build these whatever he wants them to be. Alright, and now let's give him some. First I want to build a little light defense, just so you can't just go barging through the center choke here. I'll give some detection. And here I'll give some light defense, just 2-second colonies. You can just send the DT, so the Protoss player can just send the DT and free up an expansion immediately. Alright, well, I'll wrap it up here. And next we'll get into the unit placing and a bunch more fun stuff about making your mission. See you then.